Hey guys, and welcome back to Castle Crush. And the videos have been slow recently, but we're going to try and ramp it back up here. I do have an idea for the second channel. I kind of want to turn it back into a mobile channel that is posting more regularly. It's been hard to do like multiple channels, but it's kind of, you know, it's something I'm going to get into a little bit more here and try to at least get a little bit more regular with this channel. But the main reason I had to make a video here now is because of the new Enchanter card. And this is a rare 5-mana card that has been relatively recently released, and I managed to acquire it. So I'm back at 68 out of 68. But of course we have to test out the card and see what it might be good at. Now, I will admit, I haven't seen this card get played very much by like anyone. I've been playing with it, but I like the past however many like 15, 20 matches I've played, I've not seen a single opponent of mine use this card. Now, maybe because the card is new and people haven't leveled it up yet, but it's also kind of a relatively situational card, and it wasn't like there's some cards they've released where I could just obviously off the top of my head see what the uses would be. This one is a little bit more tricky. And, you know, I kind of was using it as like a gust of wind that only pushes your opponent back. Kind of like the dragon. It has the same sort of ability as the dragon in that it pushes your opponent back. Of course, it'll do it, again, it always pushes your opponent back no matter where you play it pretty much, unless it's right against their castle. It's going to push your opponent back, but it won't push your stack back. So again, the idea with this deck here is to try and get the catapult played and then delay my opponent. So that's kind of what I was using the Enchanter for, was to try and delay them. But there's also a really good use for it. Well, partly because it doesn't push my own cards back like Gust of Wind would. But there's another good use, which is to try and get a ranged card. If I have position in the other two lanes and I get a ranged card, if they play a ranged card behind like a tank card, and I want to use an Ice Elemental on both of them, what I can do is use the Enchanter to push them both back to like the same point kind of thing, and then put the Ice Elemental on both of them to get the ranged card frozen as well. So that's kind of an interesting thing I was experimenting with. I'll have to see if I can find a moment where I get to use that. But there are some really sort of unique little uses for this card. Alright, I'm going to show you guys just a practice match here to kind of show you like what I was trying to do with this card, because I haven't really gotten to use it totally just yet, but I wanted to show like what my kind of idea with this was going to be. Although sometimes the trainer can actually be kind of challenging too, just because they like to use a lot of ranged cards, and those can be difficult for the Ice Elemental. So, but it does give a good, relatively good chance to sort of illustrate some of this. So here we go. We're working against, yeah. And now they're going to come in with the skeletons. I'll play my Ice Elemental to get positioning for the catapult. And I guess we'll go ahead and do Boneyard because I'm not getting more cards in my hand. I'm just going to get less. So with the Ice Elemental in that top lane, we play the catapult there. Alright, maybe the trainer's a little bit too easy for this because I'm just kind of dominating here right now. I was able to get those catapults set up very, very easily, and really not much of anything to even do here. That was a little too easy. We'll do one more with the trainer, maybe so I can try and illustrate something. But you could see the basic idea there, again, with this deck, to try and just use the Ice Elementals and Golems to block for the catapults. Pretty easy stuff, but sometimes my opponent starts out with things that are just kind of hard for me. If I can't get positioning, you know, then I can't play the catapult, because I can't play it obviously if it's like way back on my end of it all. So I'm gonna have to just move this, but maybe this will give me a good chance to show what I mean here about pushing everything back and then trying to get see how that pushed them all together? That gives me a chance, well, would have given me a chance briefly to get the Ice Elemental on them. I couldn't in that situation, but you can see what I mean. If I had more mana and I was able to pull off that combo, that's something you can do with that card, is use the Enchanter to try and get ranged cards caught with the Ice Elemental. So, unfortunately here, I think I've kind of lost this because I was messing around too much. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up this free chest and see what we get. Balm and extra crystal. So, what do we got here? Donations. Okay. And let's see what's in the store. Right, so same offers as before. There's the Phoenix in the store. The legendaries are so expensive in terms of gold to purchase. I do wonder exactly how much money some of the top players have spent, because some of them are expensive. I was considering buying some cards just to beef up my card levels, but I don't know. They seem a little expensive. But I've done some basic extra leveling with a little bit of extra gold I got, so... Oh, that was timely. So Ice Elemental and Poison. The sound seems to be lagging again. I'll probably have to cut it out. It's the main reason I usually have to get rid of the sound, is because somewhere between the iPad and my computer, the sound gets lagged behind by several seconds, and it's just kind of a pain to try and get it lined back up. Let's jump in here again with this deck. I'm probably not going to make any changes because actually it's been fairly successful if I'm playing at this trophy level here with this deck. And I'm still pretty happy with how it's performing, although I don't know if the Enchanter is necessarily the best card to really use with it. But I did think it illustrated one of the Enchanter's potential uses. Maybe I should have gone with a Boneyard first. Probably, because I'm going to end up having to play the Boneyard while I still have cards in my hand, so that wasn't the best play. But the Golem got similar-ish position, I guess, so... let's just wait and see. I was trying to wait and see if they're going to play in arrows. Oftentimes it can be beneficial to hold your extra Boneyard if they're going to play arrows. But either way, the skeletons kind of got destroyed there, so... was relatively good. I waited. And now I'll start playing something behind the golems and try to just out DPS them here before they can get their rushing stack set up. And we have our second catapult. They're not really making any attempt to get through the golems, so I think I've got this one in the bag. Yep. Good victory right there. Yeah, it's kind of sad I can't really use the audio from these clips. Maybe I can line it back up. The real way to do this effectively, if I'm going to be serious here about doing mobile this time, would be to get a capture card, which I actually think I have one. So maybe I'll try and set that up. I think I'd forgotten that. I got one for my birthday this year. I think someone gave me a capture card. But I wasn't doing mobile really much at that point, so that's why I guess I never used it. I'm going to look into that, guys. I'm going to look into seeing if I can get my capture card set up and use that with my iPad instead of Air Server, because as good as Air Server has actually been compared to some of the other services, I still have issues with lag. You've probably noticed lag in videos, and then, of course, also the audio lagging. So, and no one likes it when it does that, especially not me after I've like spent time recording a video and then I go back in and notice that everything was lagging. It's just a real pain to sort it out, so hoping I can really solve that issue once and for all somehow. Alright. We need to get more than one lane going here, that's for sure. Let's get that mage frozen. Well played. Well played. That was an interesting one. I mean, if they'd had anything to really counter the lane that I'd played that in, it could have been very bad because the catapults were in one lane and I couldn't really get control, especially not of the bottom lane, very easily. Yeah, I was lucky there because I was going to play the Ice Elemental in the bottom lane, but they had, of course, had the Archer Queen that was going to cause me some issues. So, yeah, I didn't really have anything to do there. Let's get this one going. So I see an angel there. Tricky situation, but I do have a vampire, which will at least make this part interesting. So let's set up in the other lanes. I'm not really that concerned about... Oh no. Well, I'm going to just go right in here because what's clear to me is that I'm about to have some issues. With two Valkyries out there, I can't stop what they're playing very easily. And I'm going to have to freeze what's in the bottom lane and also freeze what's in the middle lane as well. But unfortunately, they have an angel there. Okay, got to get that out of the way. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Come on, get that out of the way, get that out of the way, get that out of the way. Oh, and then I have another enchanter, but it's not going to get there in time. Man, all right. Well played. Man. All right, well. Anyways, guys, so I think that is going to do it for this video here. I very much enjoyed using the Enchanter. It's a fun card, but I don't know that it's always really that good. You have to really have it in a good strategy. So what I would say is leave a comment down below if you have another use for the Enchanter other than delaying things in front of a catapult, or what was the other use I come up with? Pushing ranged cards together with melee cards to use the Ice Elemental against them. Of course, that's a real timing-based thing. Like, I had to time that. I had to have enough mana to get both cards out really back-to-back. So that was difficult, but it can be done to catch ranged cards with the Ice Elemental. So let me know if you have any other methods of using the Enchanter, because I don't see that many people using it, and honestly, it doesn't seem that good to me. But who knows? Maybe there's something I am missing. So let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Maybe subscribe if you're new to the channel or returning to the channel for more mobile games and Castle Crush content, which is what we will be doing moving forwards here. And thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos.